right. Well, we're back from our brief break, and we will start up with the California region. And the first band up on our list is Limbeck.
Okay, that was me. This is one of those other bands where nobody knew anything about. I knew probably the most because I'd heard a song or two from them, and just listened to them. Second album I didn't get to finish because I just had a lot to listen to. Number one and number two, it just was kind of like derivative of like alt country. Now it might be just hasn't aged super well, but it was no, it was still good music. It was just not quite as like for me. It didn't quite hit as hard as the first album. And I'm like I said, I'm no Limbeck expert, so if you want to yell at me, perfectly fine. But the best song I heard off their first album is "In Ohio" on Some Steps. It's just a lovely, pretty song. Don't have much else to say about it. Just pretty, nice song. Good driving music. Like just everything they do works well as a driving music. So kind of add that to my repertoire for road trips. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Great.
All right, and next up on the list is AFI, which is a fun one. I just wanted to say there's been a lot of good debate on this one on the Discord.
I feel like Courtney's gonna come from your neck. You don't do something good.
It's gonna come from my neck, and I'm not going to agree with her choice, but that's okay. That's okay. Because I think there's a lot of good choices. You can go a number of different directions with AFI because their catalog is pretty vast, even within this time period. You could go more hardcore, more punk, more glam / emo, goth punk kind of thing that they did. With towards the end of Sing Sorrow and December Underground.
Was All Hallows during this period?
What's that?
The All Hallows EP?
It was.
That EP rips.
It does, and I think I debated picking something from that, but I think it's very of its time. Like it's a fall album. It just is. It's people think about it around Halloween, and since we're doing this in March, I don't think it's a good choice.
Well, I think anything off of that one and the album after were too punk and hardcore to really be considered for this list. That's why
and per Dylan, he said it is Dylan's pick. He said it's probably going to be from Sing Sorrow, where he's going to go with it. For me, I think that's probably the right choice too.
Yeah.
And my personal bias is that I lean more towards like things that have cool instrumental parts and like songs that sound cool that I think SLS could do an interesting interpretation of.
Yeah.
And so my pick was Dancing Through Sunday because there's a ripping guitar solo in that I really want to hear him play.
That'd be great.
And I think it's a good song. It's
My only argument would be Paper Wings, Made Out of Plastic. That song's super good. It's a little slower. That's probably and a little poppier. That's probably why. This is actually Dancing Through Sunday is actually my favorite AFI song. So I'm arguing against my personal favorite song, but I just think the cover would be a little more up their alley. So
I think there's a lot of choices that they could do a good job with.
But yeah, I'm perfectly happy sticking with Dancing Through Sunday. So I think that's the choice.
Seasons somebody mentioned that would be really cool.
I love Leaving Song Part 1. Leaving Song Part 1 is just that. I know it's not everybody's, but I love that song. I love that guitar part specifically because it's just.
The Seasons has some fun electronica stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some screaming and anyway, I think that one could be a fun interpretation, but Dylan said that song might kill him. I just also wanted to quickly shout out the song Summer Shudder on December Underground. I think would be a really cool choice also, but I don't think that would be even remotely under consideration. So anyway, that's all I had. If anybody else wants to give an opinion.
I also on my list of I have heard of this band before, but could not name you a song if I was asked to.
Yeah, I know the hits.
Yeah, they're my partner's favorite band of all time, so I've got them through her, and so I've listened to them a lot.
That's fun.
They're one of those bands I put on, and like you put on the record and you just play it over and over and over and over and over again. And and Sing Sorrow is on there, and then I bought the one previously. I can't remember what the album's called. To Catch a Fire, I think is what it's called. Whatever the album's called, the previous album, I bought that and literally just probably
Art of Drowning.
Yeah, Art of Drowning. I put Art of Drowning and just didn't take it off. But the issue with Art of Drowning again is it's too heavy to be considered in this list. I guess we'll go to the next one. The first entry from Andrew McMahon and Jack's Mannequin.
Was that me?
I think so.
Okay. Jack's Mannequin. I'm a little afraid this is going to enter emo night territory, but I chose Bruise because it is my favorite Jack's Mannequin song. I do like this guy, this band quite a bit. Something Corporate is definitely the better of the two bands that I know though. So
I listened to like that first Something Corporate album, and then they fell off my radar, and I never listened to any like iteration of Andrew McMahon after that. So I trust your choice.
Sugar Cult. That was me. I did it for a couple reasons. One of which is they're originally from Santa Barbara, where I live. So I kind of felt like I had to have an opinion, even though I've only been here for 3 years. Also, I knew I after seeing them play with Green Day New Found Glory years ago on the American Idiot tour, which is a great tour, by the way. Green Day, by the way, I know they get a lot of shit. Fantastic live band. Just a great live band. But Sugar Cult played really well, and I listened to a couple of their albums, and just I never became a fan, but I definitely knew their stuff pretty well. So I really listened to it, and I was thoroughly impressed. They definitely have a better album, which is what was it? I'm sorry, I'm looking it up right now because I have it. Palm Trees and Power Lines is the better album of the 3 albums that they have at this time. And I know Chris P probably has more of an opinion on this, but I didn't want him to like get overwhelmed with bands because he had a lot. So I was between three songs, and I went with She's the Blade is the choice that I would make. Crying, I don't know if it counts, but Crying would definitely be the one that would probably carry them the furthest of the non-emo night stuff. But She's the Blade's probably their best song, and it's just a banger, just such a good song. So that's what I'm going with. Any arguments, Eric?
No. My only argument is that I just wish that the Emo Night song was available. That is Memory.
Memory. Fox. That's a great song.
I don't have a particular attachment to Sugar Cult, but that song itself is, I feel like, very standout song from the era of
it is.
Music,
I agree wholeheartedly. That song rules.
I will say on the first album, Stuck in America is just incredible. So just to throw one of their first songs of their first album. But yeah, that's all I got for that one.
So next up is Oscar, and let's pour one out for Oscar because they're about to lose in the play-in round. I'm pretty disappointed about that. Obviously, Idle Will Kill is probably my favorite album of all time, single album. And so they're a great band, and I hope that people are discovering them by listening to Motionless, which would have been my pick for the bracket. So I think Snake did a good job. I toyed with picking Patience because I think lyrically it's really good. It's the first track on Idle Will Kill, and it's similar to Nuevo in that it's kind of slower, and then before it builds into Strangled, which is the second track. And I think the parallels between that and For the Schmaltz are pretty good. And overall, I think Oscar's first 2 albums, well, they're only 2 albums, are very, very similar in like tonality and sound to Spanish Love Song's first 2 albums. And I just think that's a connection that I made pretty early on when I first got into Spanish Love Song. So
nice. Okay, cool.
I'll say that I don't really have an opinion on the band, as I've only been introduced from you and this this thing. However, I will say that I did vote for Oscar in this entry poll, and I was really surprised that Homegrown made it. So
appreciate your efforts.
Yeah, we have to consider, like, I feel like Gerbs has said this a lot in the March Dadness, is like, we are a small but loud minority, right? There's still like so many Patreon folks that are not on the Discord.
Yeah, 690 patrons versus like maybe 50 or 60 Discord
like
people.
active.
So,
well, it's why it's probably going to come down between My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boys because they're the big names. Like
we'll see.
Just to throw it out there. And so yeah. Next up is the Jealous Sound.
Oh, I love the Jealous Sound. I I listened to Knapsack a little bit, but really I listened to Jellisound more. And so this is off Kill Them With Kindness, and my pick is Anxious Arms. It is, like, it gets stuck in my head. It's got a great, I don't know, I love it. I don't, in general, like, super love I'm gonna forget the lead singer's name of, like, Knapsack and Jellisound. I don't actually, like, super love his voice, necessarily. Like, it's really breathy, and in a lot of those songs, like, the vocals are really low in comparison to the music, right? Like, the music is I don't know anything about sound production, but, like, the vocals are more, like, in the music instead of standing above the music. And but in this song, I think that it works really well, and I just love this song, and this is such a great album. And if you never listened to those bands, I think that is an album that is 100% worth your time. I think it's excellent.
Thank you, Lindsay. Next up is Finch.
Ooh, Finch. Hey. Drive-through band. Love them. Finch is, as I was listening to them, kind of a band that I was surprised made it, just because they don't really sound like something I would honestly want SLS to cover. I think it was more of a name recognition from the era thing.
Yeah.
Was this a band pick?
I love this band, Finch. So I went really weird on this pick and went with something that I thought Spanish love songs would actually do really good with, and it's off of their first EP, and it's called New Kid. So if you've never heard the song, check it out. It's definitely kind of like a underdog choice, but
Nice. I like it.
Only, like, I mean, I know what it is to burn, and my other connection with Finch is I love this band called Counterfeit, which is from, like, San Diego-ish area, and their drummer ended up playing for Finch after Counterfeit, like, stopped touring, and he's an excellent drummer.
I remember that now that you're
so I
saying
knew
that.
like what it is to burn, but I didn't really listen to it a lot. So
I really like that record.
It's a great record.
I actually really want to revisit their second full length because I feel like adult me would like it a lot more than young adult I did. But their first EP was obviously what got me into them. I kind of became a huge fan right away, and New Kid has always been a song that I really liked and haven't listened to in years, but then when I was trying to figure out the song, I was like, oh wow, this one really does stand out again.
it's sort of interesting in retrospect to think that they were a drive-through band. Like, I feel like they maybe don't necessarily fit in there that cleanly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have songs that fit into drive-through, though.
Yeah, they definitely have some songs that are like pop punky. I just didn't feel like they felt disingenuous listening to them. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was a little surprised you didn't go with Letters to You, because that's pop punky.
I
And
honestly figured it was an emo night song.
okay.
But I've never been to an emo night, so I'm really bad judge on this. Like,
Same.
Yeah, the only one that really doesn't qualify for Finch would have been What It Is to Burn.
Yeah. All right. So tell us about the Ataris, Eric.
wow.
Santa Barbara's own Ataris. Sorry, gotta throw that in there.
Recently discovered, thanks to a little bit that we went on with Jess, that Ataris might be my favorite pop-up band of all time.
Wow.
I ended up listening to 4 of their albums in one
Nice.
night, just back to back, because I was like, well, all of this is really good, and just kept going, and it didn't stop getting good. So yesterday is when I chose my Atari song. This might be a little skewed because it was the 20th birthday of In This Forever, so happy birthday, In This Forever. But I chose the song I Owe You One Galaxy.
Nice.
Felt like kind of like a sleeper hit for the Ataris. I feel like it's a well-known fan song. That could go far.
For sure.
Nice.
But, like,
That wasn't like San Dimas or like obviously nothing off of Full on Astoria, like I felt like that would be way too emo night. So, but that album is really good too. And same thing with Blue Skies, Broken Hearts. Like I felt like the songs that I really wanted to hear him cover off of that song would be too 90. Yeah.
I gotta rep Blue Skies, Broken Hearts because literally that's a Santa Barbara album. So I have to rep it real quick. Angry Road Rock would have been my choice. That song's fucking awesome. So that's it. But yeah, I agree with your choice. We should go with it. So.
Nice.
I love that song. San Dimas is like always has my heart because when I was getting ready for my sophomore year homecoming, my good friend Margot and I listened to that on repeat for 2 hours, just that one song. And so like, I love it. It has my heart. But Galaxy is an excellent choice.
Yeah.
I have to say that I think that the rules will probably be broken and that San Dimas is probably going to be the pick for whoever.
Yeah.
I think Jess had the Ataris, but I can't remember exactly. I think it's going to be.
As long as they don't pick Your Boyfriend Sucks, just because that song is not aged well. Oh my god. Okay, next one.
Bass or sorry. What's the B?
Say anything.
Say anything. Does not start with B. Okay. Say anything.
I think that was me again as well. Okay, so Say Anything. Really only familiar with their first album. I did enjoy their second album quite a bit though, and I know that's kind of like a hot take. That being said, I really like the song Admit It, and I think SLS could have a lot of fun with that. Off of their first album. Yeah, I think I like that one.
Nice.
Thoughts?
We can move to
Boxcar Racer. You again, Eric.
Oh my goodness. See, this is what I was talking about, where I had to take over at a certain point. Boxcar Racer. I went with the song And I, because A, it's a really good song, but B, it was kind of like the song where I was like, oh, Tom DeLonge can write a pop-punk song that sounds mature, and that's really cool. So it's a lot more pop-punky than anything else on that album. And I think, especially with the exclusion of Blink-182, I think it'd be nice to see Tom DeLonge get a little bit of a pop-punk representation on this box art.
Is he the one that, like, is into aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that went, like, off the deep end, but he might be right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He did say he was going to write like 500 books this year or last year. So.
All right.
Eric, I think you have the next 3 also.
Oh,
So.
no.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Rufio is next.
Pretty hour.
All right, Rufio. I'll bang these out real quick. Rufio. I was really like their first. I don't know if it's their first album, but perhaps I suppose I saw them a bunch live. I went with the song "Save the World." Oh, I started playing "Save the World" because it's not above me, but it's still really fast and riffs. I think it'd be really fun. Got that power metal, pop-punk power metal.
Also, Out of Control would not have counted. That's an emo night song. So, just in case anyone is asking. Okay, next one.
Right.
Weezer.
Weezer.
Ooh, all right. Weezer, I
Here's my reaction.
immediately regretted putting this as high as I did, rating-wise, after I realized that I don't know anything by this band after Pinkerton.
That's fine.
I chose the song Photograph, though, because I really liked it. It was a fun, catchy song, and it wasn't Hash Pipe or Island in the Sun.
Yeah. Okay. Something corporate.
All right, Something Corporate. I love this band.
Great band.
Andrew McMahon, I think, did a really good job at a really young age at Something Corporate, as well as incorporating piano very heavily into that pop-punk sound was, at the time, like, game-changing to me. Like, I was like, all right, this fucks. So I chose the song Fall. It's a really, really good song. It's highlights the piano in a way that I don't think it makes it the focal point, but it's definitely a main instrument in the song, while still retaining kind of like a little bit more of a punk rock, a little bit of a edge to it, I guess.
Okay. Kind of probably going to be one that we get into a little bit of a conversation with Green Day. I kind of agreed on this one. I loved Green Day for a long time. I still think they're fun to listen to. Not quite into them now as I used to. But this is my area of Green Day because I got into them in middle school, but like high school is when I really got into them. So Warning and American Idiot were like my 2 big albums for them. I went with Macy's Day Parade because I think it's one of their more interesting songs. It's Minority wouldn't count, Warning wouldn't count, American Idiot wouldn't count, though I wouldn't have chosen American Idiot anyways. But Boulevard of Broken Dreams wouldn't count, though that would have been a fun one to see them cover. More so just a fun cover than a good song. But Macy's Day Parade is probably the one I would go with. I am willing to take a discussion on stuff off American Idiot like Letterbox and Give Me Novocaine.
Yeah, I did want to talk about that a little bit because I think American Idiot is the primary album of the area. I mean, Warning's a great album, but it's not it's not American Idiot in terms of like the scope.
Yeah.
And I think that's squarely what put them on the map, even though they were a popular band before that.
Yeah.
Obviously that one blew up. I think Jesus Suburbia I just want to toss out, would be an incredible.
They've already said no on Jesus of Suburbia. They've already said they literally that would have been my choice if they didn't say no.
Just to punish them, I think that would be a fun show.
That song that song is not hard to play on guitar, but it takes for fucking ever.
Well, yeah, it's like 13 minutes or however long it is. Letter Bomb is the best song on American Idiot, in my opinion.
That's one that was on my list as well. I didn't put it on the thing, but I have a list of songs, and the 3 that I had were Macy's Day Parade, Letter Bomb, and Give Me Novocaine. So I'm down with Letter Bomb.
Waiting is my personal favorite.
Oh, it's a good song too.
It's probably top 5 Green Day songs for me. I think that would have been my pick.
But I think Letter Bomb's a really good choice.
Letter Bomb is the compromise pick.
Yeah, it's just really good song. I think American Idiot has aged pretty well, and people give it crap because it wasn't Green Day, and I think it's still, and it also was critically acclaimed, and an album gets critically acclaimed, and it doesn't sound like their old stuff. Fans kind of get mad, so yeah.
Yeah, I was like I listened to Dookie like to fall asleep when I was in middle school.
Oh, wow.
I am a weird person.
It would have been funnier if you said you listened to Insomniac to fall asleep.
I used to fall asleep to Dookie.
Which is their best album.
I really, I like heard the hits that were on the radio, but then I like never really listened to Green Day again. I still love Dookie.
Dookie's great. I think any album before American Idiot and prior are just fantastic albums that you put on, you just enjoy.
So this is definitely their back, their latter era covers this.
I didn't have an opinion on Green Day because this is well past my area of expertise for Green Day. I definitely enjoyed the first couple. Didn't care for. It was Warning. It was okay.
Yeah.
American Idiot's okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
I disagree, but that's my point. That's just my opinion. Rilo Kiley's next, so.
Oh, I was assigned to pick Rilo Kiley, but I never really. Rilo Kiley was like in the universe of things I listened to because I listened to a lot of Saddle Creek bands, but I never listened to Rilo Kiley. So I sat down and listened through this album, which is The Execution of All Things, and kind of flipped through an earlier and a later album. Again, like some of the others that I've had, a lot of the I think her name is Jenny Lewis.
Jenny Lewis,
her songs are like kind of quiet and slower. I wanted something that had like a little more pep because I think it would be a better cover. And I ended up with a song called "A Better Son/Daughter." I like the lyrics. It has like a nice beat and rhythm, and I think I'm just gonna listen to this album because I enjoyed it. She has a beautiful voice.
Her later stuff's really good too. She had an album a couple years ago that was one of the best albums that was put out. I think it was 2018. It was so good.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, maybe 19.
Real quick shout out Blake Sennett, who is Joey the Rat in Boy Meets World, and I think he's in a couple other shows that is in that band.
Jenny Lewis was in a bunch of movies. She was a child actress. She was in Beverly Hills Girl Scout or Troop Beverly Hills.
Troop Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
And she's in a couple other things. She was a. I mean, that's how she became famous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blake is in Boy Meets World and Salute Your Shorts, so he was a popular.
Wow. Okay.
TVs on the '90s, so shout out to him.
Shout out to the. She was in The Wizard. Shout out to The Wizard, the Nintendo advertising movie with the Power Glove. So.
Nice.
So okay, next one is Thrice. I can take the lead if you want me to. I love Thrice, especially this era Thrice. I think they're a band that has gotten better with age.
Absolutely.
I think their last album was probably their best album. I don't think it's my favorite album, but I think just the writing and the song, the production. I also think I think what's his name? I think the guitarist. What is his name? No. The starts with a T. Sorry?
Oh, Tepe.
Yeah, Tepe. I think Tepe's calmed himself down considerably, so the stuff he's writing is a little more... Because like, especially this era Thrice, Tepe is just going nuts with every song and just going crazy. And it's fun to hear, and this is more fun than stuff that they're making now. And this is my favorite era of Thrice, but yeah. My favorite album's Visu, but not really fits into the pop-punk guys. I would love to hear him do a cover of Destinations. I think they would have a lot of fun with that, but I don't think it kind of fits in what we're going with. I'm not an artist in the Ambient Sky. I think it's a good album, but my favorite is Illusion of Safety. Or, no, not Illusion of Safety. No, I think it's Illusion of Safety. Illusion of Safety. And like Where Idols Once Stood would have been my choice, but it's a little too heavy. So I went with, I believe, I put Deadbolt on there. I don't think it qualifies. It's a little too emo nighty. So I went to Awaken and Avenge the Dead. That song is just, it rips from start to finish. The guitar parts are great. The lyrics are fantastic, and just kind of takes you on the inside into the guttural anger. And to see them just try to screw around with it and make it into something interesting would be fantastic. I mean, the song's interesting, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's my partner's second favorite band, and I was going to ask her what she would pick, but I forgot to do that.
So yeah.
You get no choice.
Hello, Goodbye.
Hey.
That sounds like an Eric.
It is.
It is. Another drive-through band, thank you. I love this band. Just about everything they've done is so good. I chose the song 2 Weeks in Hawaii.
Sounds lovely.
Zombies, aliens, vampires, dinosaurs. It's a really good song. It's still like fits the bill, but it's a different layer of Hello Goodbye, and I actually think it's probably my favorite Hello Goodbye song, because it's still like poppy and kind of dancey, but it gets weird as well instrumentally sometimes, and it's a good one.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm like looking forward to listening to all of these picks for bands that I don't know. Like, I'm gonna listen to this maybe on shuffle, like when I work out.
Yep. Homegrown, we don't really need to, I guess, figure out what the choice would be. We can just discuss the choice that they did. I haven't fully listened to the song, so I have no real opinion on it. I know I said I voted, but I genuinely don't feel strongly in to know how much Andrew loves Oscar, so I was doing that as a favor to him. I am going to listen to both songs, and I'll have my personal opinion, but I was going to vote that way anyways.
I thought the song was good. Tomorrow was the song they chose. I had never listened to Homegrown, and I listened to that song and I think one other song on that album, and they were both really good. I really liked it. I would listen to that again. So I am now going to root for that pick to go pretty far, because they've got my preferred choice. So go Homegrown.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I think that I actually had Homegrown as the pick, and I just want to say that I did not pick Tomorrow. I thought that was a weak song, and especially for Homegrown standards, which are not incredible. Sorry.
Crispy with the crisp opinions.
I like it.
All right.
I mean, I don't think you're alone. It was basically everybody versus Kyle in the podcast.
Like, I'm glad they're on there, because it was like Kyle's choice, especially since he didn't get to be on the call and everything.
Game late.
Why am I here?
I don't like them. It's like the one home or drive-through band that I'm just like, eh.
To me, they just like don't stand out. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw them on and stuff, but like nothing ever.
Speaking of bands that don't stand out, this is a band that absolutely stands out for you, Lindsay. Manchester Orchestra.
I love Manchester Orchestra. Tough take because I agree with what Dylan and other people said that they just keep getting better. And the only album of theirs that fits in the time frame is I'm Like a Virgin Losing a Child, which is an excellent record, but is not Manchester Orchestra's best. That said, it's excellent, and you should listen to it. I picked Now That You're Home. There's a couple songs that are slower. There's a couple that are like kind of weird in their timing, like they're kind of like slow and fast and slow again. This is one that like the last 30 seconds of this song are like one of my favorite sections of this album because it just gets really like in the best kind of way. And so yeah, I love Manchester Orchestra. The new single that they just put out is great. I'm excited to hear the whole album.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I mean, it's very exciting to me when bands have been like putting out music consistently for 15, 16 years and they're still doing like cool, awesome stuff. So
yeah,
this is, really old for them, but really good. I'd love to hear them do it.
Yep. All right, Paramore.
Hey, it's me
Eric.
again.
I feel like I can pick what's going to be an Eric pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Paramore is
Very basic.
Paramore, yeah, I'm pretty basic. Paramore is a really awesome band that I've felt really honored to kind of see rise to the level that they have. And kind of like what Lindsay was saying about Manchester Orchestra, they definitely do get better as they age. However, Courtney and I were fighting pretty hard for Paramore in the chat when they were doing the elimination, and I'm glad to see that they ended up getting included because their first album definitely, I do feel, is a part of their history and is really good on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose the song My Heart because it's really good, and I think Dylan would be okay covering that, and I don't know. Yeah, definitely out of his register and comfort zone probably, but I think that they would do a really fun job with it.
Yeah.
This is definitely a sleeper pick for the region to go through.
For sure.
Just because, name recognition alone will get them there. So
Yeah.
Next
right, Good Charlotte.
It was. I chose a song that I didn't expect to choose off of their subtitle album called Scream. Because when I heard it, I remembered listening to it and really liking it, but I had not thought of a song in decades. And when I was trying to figure out what song I was going to do for this, for band Good Charlotte, a lot of their songs would be kind of like the emo night hits that really kind of fall into anything I would want to hear. And then this song came on, and I was like, okay, yeah, they actually can write a good song every once in a while too. That isn't just a hit.
Heck yeah.
I haven't like thought of Good Charlotte in so long, but then in the last 12 hours, I've thought of them 3 times because they were a hint in Brian's trivia, and then somebody was talking about them in Discord, and then we were having like a throwback Thursday pick thread, and mine was of me and Gabe Supporta, but it was when they were touring with Good Charlotte. And in this occasion, it's like more thinking about Good Charlotte in 24 hours than I have done in 20 years.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see how far their name recognition can carry them.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of name recognition, Newfound Glory.
Woo! I love Newfound Glory. What was your pick, Eric? I think we both put things on the
Yeah, this was the only one that I
3 things on there. I could not choose.
this is the only one that I felt like really compelled to really add something that I wasn't just the only person that had, because I don't really like them anymore, but they're the band that I've seen the most live, ever.
Like
I've seen him
Newfound
23 times.
I've seen Newfound Glory more in the last like 2 years than I had prior to that.
And
I love them.
they never
they're
disappoint.
Yeah, they're so good live.
So good.
Definitely a more problematic band.
Yeah, that's kind of I really stopped caring about him after all the stuff went down with him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that being said,
Okay. I was like, what?
Redacted.
No. Yeah. Okay.
I chose At Least I'm Known for Something. Honestly, mostly because it's a song that I think is really fun, but I kind of wanted to see what SLS would do with a breakdown in the middle of a song.
Okay.
I'm like Googling it because like I know all of okay. Like I know all the songs and I know all the lyrics, and I knew that if I saw the first lyric I would know what song it is. Oh, nice. Okay. I love Catalyst. Catalyst came out, I think it was 2004, and I had a driving commute and like with a car with a CD player, and I had this CD in for like that whole summer of my driving commute. So I love Catalyst. I am very happy to go with your pick from Catalyst. I picked Failure's Not Flattering.
That would have been my pick as well.
Nice. Okay, cool. That makes me feel good. I also like made a couple of older school choices just for funsies off of the self-titled. I picked Second to Last and Black and Blue. I think that all of these choices would be great. I loved Newfound Glory and still love Newfound Glory. I sort of missed all of those albums from like 2006 to like Radio Surgery, but you know, it's fun. Also, Radio Surgery, I put on a playlist of like music that relates to my profession, so that makes me happy too. Yeah, let's go with. Oh, I don't know. Can I convince you a Failure's Not Flattering?
Yeah, very easily. I have almost no weight in this one. Like I used to, like I said, I've only felt obligated because of just how much like actual attachment I used to have to the band, but I really they're one of those bands that I used to love, but they're definitely a nostalgia band now. I don't really actively seek, except for their first album, Nothing Gold Can Stay, which I didn't want to throw anything on.
Sure.
From there.
Yeah. All
right. Failure's Not Flattering, the pick to click.
Got it. Updated.
Copeland.
Oh, Copeland. So this is like for sure a big nostalgia pick for me. I like ran the street team for May before they got signed, and so like the Tooth and Nail universe. Also like in southeastern Virginia, like when I started going to shows, like almost all the shows were in churches and like church coffee houses, like very big kind of like Christian teen hangout music situation. So May and then Copeland and all those associated Tooth and Nail bands are like very big nostalgia situations for me. So Copeland, I picked Love is a Fast Song from In Motion. It's an excellent song. It has, so Aaron, the lead singer for Copeland, has like a very high voice. And I think a lot of it would be really, really hard for Dylan to sing. Like, definitely would have to be a key down. This one I think is like singable and you know, isn't really slow. They have a lot of songs that are really slow. So I think this one will stand against more of our picks, and that'll be great. Copeland, so sweet.
The next one would be North Star, which we don't have a choice for. I reached out to one of the North Star experts, haven't heard back from them. So not their fault, obviously.
We'll come back.
So hopefully we hear from them. If not, then we'll just go with whatever. There's a song on the list for that. So yeah, after that we have Hot Rod Circuit.
Ooh, that was also me. So I know a lot of people loved early Hot Rod Circuit. I didn't really get into any of those albums. Like I didn't own any of those albums until The Pharmacist, sorry about Tomorrow, on which The Pharmacist is a song. And I love that album. Like that record is excellent. And I picked Knees as my song. Um, it's like really, the lyrics are great. I'm singing it in my head right now as I think about it. And I think that if somebody didn't know Hot Rod Circuit, that it would be, it's like an interesting song where they would go, huh, this is a little bit different. I want to check out more of this. So.
Yeah. I was just going to briefly say Reality's Coming Through was the album that I had. And Inhabit was on a compilation that one of my friends made for me, like to introduce me to like this world of music, and so that was a pretty influential song on me, and I really like it. But just wanted to shout it
out. Next is Further Seems Forever.
My heart. I mean, same to the nail universe. I have loved Chris Carrabba for a long time. And so The Moon Is Down, has a couple of songs that like I've said before, I haven't been to an emo night, but I think are like really recognizable. And so my choice off of the for Further Seems Forever off of The Moon Is Down is Madison Prep. Very rockin', would be super fun. I love it. The thing that's so funny about Further Seems Forever is that like it was Chris Carrabba, and then they had two other singers like Jason. I can't remember his last name, and then the guy from Sensefield. Like so they have these like three full lengths with three different singers, and they're all great. I think when we made our original big playlist where everybody was contributing to it, that my pick was Hide Nothing, or off of Hide Nothing. But yeah, I stand by Madison Prep. The Moon Is Down is just like a seminal album for me of that time, and I think that this is a good choice for like rockin', but not the super name recognition song.
After that, I believe is a little band known as Against Me.
Against Me, all right. So I think Against Me is interesting in that I think, and Dylan agrees with me on this, is that their later material is by far their most impactful, and
I agree.
It's their most important material, their best material was later than this region. But they did put out 3 really good albums in this time period. I think at the end of the day, Against Me is not going to be a popular choice in this tournament. I just don't feel like they fit really with anybody else.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really hard for them to make waves. And so I think it's better to pick something safe at the end of the day. And that's why my pick was Walking Is Still Honest.
That's a good one.
Because that's like a fan favorite song.
I was going to say Pints of Guinness.
Yeah, Pints of Guinness is a little too campy, I think. Yeah. I did think about that a little bit, but I think Walking Still Honest is a popular song, and it's like a good song. It's one of their best songs. So I think that's the easy pick there. But like I said, I don't think they're going to make it too far in this tournament just because they don't really fit in with anybody else.
Yeah, no, I agree. The only other one would be Florida. I do like Sing Florida Sing. I know it's a pretty popular song. And it's kind of like, but.
That was one of the ones. I think they have 2 like emo night picks, and I kind of think that's one of them.
Okay.
One that's fresh
Yeah.
and real.
I guess there'd be a third one too, which is "Kiss Me, I'm an Anarchist."
Oh, okay. Baby, I'm an Anarchist.
Baby, I'm an Anarchist. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the other choice I was considering was From Her Lips to God's Ears, which is a great song.
Oh, so good.
It's very of the era. Like, I don't know if screaming about Condoleezza Rice is like
what?
something that's going to carry a lot of weight. In this day and age.
That was such a good song. But yeah, no, that's a really good choice. Dashboard.
I think Eric and I both put things on.
I removed mine.
Oh, you did?
I didn't like it. Yep.
I mean, I love that song. I was surprised. I thought you had talked about Again I Go Unnoticed being one of your favorites, which is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is. I honestly, I don't know. Dashboard.
The more I was listening to it, just didn't feel right for this, I guess.
All right. So my 2 that I put on here, maybe you can help like break my tie. I mean, I'm definitely a Swiss Army Romance and The Places. Like those were my. I was obsessed with those. I listened to them over and over and over again. I know every intonation of like every note on those records. So my pick from Places is Saints and Sailors because I think it has like it has a good beat. And then I picked one from America Mission because Bend Do Not Break is an excellent song, but that album doesn't have the attachment to my heart like Places does. So I think I am leaning towards Saints and Sailors.
Fine.
I agree. Yeah, and that's kind of actually the reason why I took mine off is because I felt like out of all the like choices, there's really only a couple of choices that I really felt with what we're going with. And that was Saints and Sailors, which you had chosen, and hands down, which would be not eligible.
Which would be it's just like too popular.
Yeah. I would have chosen from the Spider-Man 2 official movie soundtrack, Vindicated. Oh, that song.
I also
that's the emo night.
No, that is 100% emo night. But that would have been my choice if I had the option. Also, it also doesn't fit in that soundtrack. That soundtrack's not great, and that song just is on there, and it's just like, why? But not the point.
There were a few. That soundtrack also features Liar, if I remember correctly.
No, that was the third. That was the third one.
Oh, it was the third one.
Yeah, the third one had Liar.
Okay.
So there's like one intern for the Spider-Man franchise that likes good music, and they've got.
And then they have Chad Kroeger
and it was like Saliva.
And Chad Kroeger and Saliva doing that song. Oh my god, that song's so bad.
Oh, it had a Yellow Card song on there, which is my favorite Yellow Card song.
I forgot about that.
Ocean?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ocean?
Gifts and Curses.
No, it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I own that soundtrack. Don't ask me why. I mean, I apparently liked it back in the day. Okay, the next band up is here we go. Receiving Into Sirens. I'm willing to I love Treos. Their second album's really good. It's really, really good. Heart and Synapse is just a perfect album. It is a perfect album.
So good. It's so good. Like I listen to it now and I'm like, what the hell were they doing in 2003, 2004 doing this?
I remember Steven Smith of Steven's Untitled Rock Show played the song because this is where I found out about it, and he's like, "Oh, this is really good." And it was like, "This is not loud or angry or anything like that." And I listened to the second time, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go buy that album. This is gonna be..." And like I love your choice. I love Broadcasting. It's a great song, or Broadcast Quality, great song. My argument, or my problem with Broadcast Quality in any other song except for Playing in Prison Break is it's part of the album, so it doesn't feel complete without the songs before it and after it. Whereas Playing in Prison Break is the a starter. Also, if we're going for what's going to go the furthest, this is the one that everybody knows. But I love Broadcast Quality. It's so good. Evidence is great. Burn the Evidence is great. There's just so many good albums, but I did Play on Prison Break because it's the opener, so it feels the most complete of everything. But none of their songs on this album feel 100% complete without the rest of the album.
Yeah, it's such a good album. This was one of those when your friends are in bands and you're always like, yeah, okay, I'll listen to your band.
Yeah.
So three of these guys were in my music industry class at Northeastern, and I was like, yeah, I'll listen to it. And then I was like, what?
Hearing you two talk about this is making me excited for
Ben Petrikis, who originally was in that band, and then these songs were partially written about their split. Okay. Can you wait 20 seconds? Give me a sec. Raging around me.
No worries.
And so Ben Petrikis, who did a lot of projects in Boston at the time, like Christians and Lions, and I'm gonna forget all of them, but anyway, he's really great, and he was in this band, so that's where I started hearing from them, and then they were in my music industry class, and I made their buttons for them, and I love this album. I've seen them play a million times. It's so good, and Andrew, who's in here trying to get something right now, heard me playing it in the kitchen like a month ago. I was like, who is this? This is really great. So there you go. I'm totally fine going with
Playing in Prison Break.
Playing in Prison Break, because every song on that album is excellent.
Sorry, go ahead.
Broadcast Quality and Flee the Factory are my favorites.
Oh, they're so good. And I almost went with Armistice as well, just because that song is just such a good break at that point in the album. So.
Now I just want to stop talking to you.
Oh, and listen to Between the Heart and the Synapse. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm rooting for this band too because you guys make me excited for it.
This is the band I don't care if they make it out of the second round, but if they don't make it out of the first round, I will cry.
It's I think that there are enough of us that are very passionate about them and loud about our passion for them, and also if people just actually listen to it and don't just vote on name recognition, which I don't know, I don't really have faith in people, but they're just so good.
Oh yeah, they're so amazing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of crying, the Loved Ones are up next, and they're going to be in a play-in round. I know. I've already confirmed that. So. I think they're soon to be eliminated.
Oh no!
I'm just not very optimistic. I think they're a very good band. They did a live show thing last night that I watched. It was very good.
Is it still on? Because I kind of want to go see it.
It is still available. Yeah. They have two releases in this window. Their EP, self-titled EP, which is probably my favorite EP of all time, and Keep Your Heart, which is their first full-length album. And so my pick for this is probably different than what Jess is going to pick. I think that she's probably going to go with Player Hater Anthem, and I think
that would have been my choice.
It's a good choice because mostly because of the title. I think we'll carry it a little bit.
Well, the song's awesome too. It's telling people who come to their shows.
The song is also very good, and I think it's a good choice. My personal choice would be Massive off the EP, because it's a very heartfelt song.
It's a good song.
Good bass intro. I'm a big fan of bass, and I think Trevor could do a lot of cool things with that. So,
where's this band from?
They're from Philly.
Okay, I've literally never heard of this band until they were on this list, and
they're amazing.
They're part of the Lifetime family tree.
I didn't realize that.
The bassist of Kid Dynamite is in this band, and then also Dave Haas.
The
roadie for Kid Dynamite. So,
I do know. Oh, Dave Haas is Santa Barbara resident now. Funny enough.
Oh, okay.
I do know that when they came out, because especially after Keep Your Heart came out, it was people were like, this is the new best pop punk album ever, and they're like, we were played in a bunch of hardcore bands. Stop calling us pop punk. It's just come on. I would probably do Player Hater Anthem. Honestly, I love that album. I'll give you that, but I'm gonna put a very, very massive Player Hater Anthem would have been my choice. Keep Your Heart is one of the best albums of the era. Suit Yourself is one of the best intro songs of anything. Just so freaking good. And then and then honestly the hits that Jane and 100K were never huge, but they're the best, some of the best hits there. It's just a great band. Even the album following Build and Burn is awesome. So I'll let you have that one. But I am gonna say Player Hater Anthem would have been my choice.
Well, now I want to stop talking to y'all and listen to that.
You should listen to that album. It's very good. And
yeah.
Also, I do want to shout out quickly Trial by Fire, which is the hardcore band with the drummer Mike Sneeringer and part of the Loved Ones, and they riff.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Nice.
Okay, Me Without You. Did we get a choice for this?
Oh no, we got some feedback on the Discord, but I did not. I didn't compile that stuff.
Yeah,
Me Without You was always in that universe of tooth and nail bands. So I think I saw them play a couple of times, and I enjoyed them, but I never
I never really listened to them until a couple years ago, and I still haven't given I've listened to Pale Horses and Untitled a lot, but nothing really before that. So this era is not my era. But Me Without You, I love the Untitled, and Pale Horses is fantastic, but
I think I always confuse them in my head with Minus the Bear.
See, I used to confuse them with
M.
I used to confuse them with Manchester. So.
I also love Minus the Bear, so.
I like Manchester a lot, but yeah. So yeah, I guess we don't really have a choice there. Do something off Pale Horses,
All right.
which doesn't qualify. Avril.
Hey, that's me.
That's amazing.
This is one that I kind of another one that I kind of regretted getting so hyped up over my knowledge of Avril Lavigne. But there is a song that I did find that I do actually really like by her called Tomorrow off of I think it's called Let's Go, the first album. Complicated on it, yeah. It's a really good song, like kind of like a standout. I was like, yeah, you know what, this is really well written. Sounds like it'd be
cool.
a fun one, and might go places.
Okay. I'm excited about this next one because I want to hear what Lindsay has to say because this band's awesome. Piebald.
Oh, Piebald, my heart. I got to do tour press for them, and I saw them a whole bunch on that.
Would you say you're American Heart?
What's that?
Would you say you're American Heart?
Oh, that would have been a good pun. Yeah, I mean, the hard part is that, you know, this album, which is my favorite of theirs, the ones that are like bangers that are popular are like very bangers and very popular. So I feel like
I don't know if any of their songs qualify for emo night though, because they're not that popular. I mean, they're popular, but they're not like.
Oh really? I don't know. It's also hard to tell because I went to school in Boston and Piebald is huge in Boston. So like maybe my perspective is skewed. But I chose off of We Are the Only Friends We Have. It's called Sex Cells, and unfortunately I'm buying because I think the title is hilarious.
That's a great title.
It's a great song. It's the closer on the album, and it's kind of like really banger, and then it has like a horns outro. So I have no idea what they would end up doing with this if they covered it, but I think it would be fun. I love this record. I like made one of my best friends in college because he had a Piebald button on his backpack and I had a Piebald t-shirt on. So like I just have a lot of good Piebald nostalgia.
I don't know if anybody happened to us, but like Spotify used to just force this band down my throat.
Oh really?
And but it'd be great. But I couldn't figure out who they were because it'd play. My American Heart would play, and then I would be like, "Oh, I gotta write that down," and it wouldn't play. And it'd be specifically My American Heart, and then I wouldn't get to it, and it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And as soon as I figured out, I mean, they've been on my regular rotation since then. They're so good, but yeah, they would just be like.
They're so weird. Like I feel like it would be a hard band to recommend to somebody just like off the cuff. Like they're very strange, but in a lovely way.
Yeah, it all depends on what you know, like if you have specific interests that are like that are kind of in the same realm. But yeah, Cartel is next.
Ooh, that was me too. I was really into this band back in the day. Didn't really ever get into them after that. I know they had an album after the one I chose, Chroma. Didn't really get into it though.
That was The Bubble. The Bubble, sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
When they escaped the bubble. I chose the song If I Fail. I actually went back and listened to this whole album because I did remember really liking this band, but couldn't really recall anything besides the hits off this album. And this was like the standout track that I found.
Nice.
So.
Okay, cool. And the last one, which I'm sure a lot of people have opinions of, Sum 41.
Yeah.
I'm kidding about
that. Last but not least, Sum 41 was interesting because, you know, I kind of wrote down, it's like, they have some really good songs, and like basically this era covers all of their best albums, all of their good albums, to be quite honest. And so there was a lot of options. I think that there's some extent for the purpose of this tournament. You know, there's the nostalgia element versus songs that are really good and could be a highlight or something that you could shout out. Like my personal favorite song is No Brains on Does This Look Infected? I think it has a really cool guitar solo, and that would be a good part. But my choice ultimately was Summer, a song so good that they put it on their first 2 albums. So I think that is probably it's a good, catchy song, got that nostalgia element, and could make it pretty far in this tournament.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I saw the song that you put on the playlist for Sum 41 and almost put Summer on the playlist because I was like, nah, this is a really good song.
I changed my mind. I changed my mind today. Yeah.
I got you. I
do like brains. But yeah, that's the list. This is a significantly better list than what's going to come out in a couple days. They're
talking. If you made it this far, you get the shit talking.
I'm sure their list is going to be fantastic. I am a little mad. Dylan said I don't know the song he's going to choose from Gatsby's, but it's not off Theater, and I'm like, or off Volcano. It's not off Volcano, and like that's their best album with their best songs. So, but other than that, no. I guess Pollyanna is our choice for North Star because I haven't got a response yet, and that was the one that was on here, and I know that's a good song. I like that song. Heard it when I was drinking beer and eating pizza. Funny enough. Good song. And I don't think we have a Me Without You choice. So.
Me Without You and Fountains of Wayne.
No, we have Miami Wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournament.
Oh yeah. Or Mexican wine, sorry.
Do you think if they listen to us pre-shit talk, then they're gonna shit talk us?
Oh, absolutely.
I hope so.
And I think the thing is, Jess will listen to it because she wants to be supportive. Dylan will listen to it because he wants to shit talk us and wants to be supportive. And then Travis will listen to it just so he can shit talk us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Checks out.
True. This is fun. It's fun to have a project, even if it's like a goofy just for us project. And it's been actually like really fun to go back and listen to this stuff and see like what holds up and what you're like, oh god, I can't believe you listened to this.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both.
Yeah, exactly. Some of it is like, oh man, this is awesome, and some is just like,
Yeah. Well, so in terms of going forward, I think do we want to make this a weekly thing? Like, go kind of do the same time, like maybe like 1:30 on Sundays, if that kind of works for people, and
I think mid-afternoon is good.
Let me start recording.
Yeah.